Hello, my name is Tommie Powers. My colleagues call me Tommie Traffic, and I'm here to share my best tips on how to run successful YouTube ads, specifically for people who have digital products. Since 2012, I've been running YouTube ads. I actually bought my first ad on YouTube over a decade ago. I've spent millions of dollars on the platform. I've seen a lot of stuff. And so from that, I've been able to learn really what works and what don't. And I want to share some of that with you today. So the first tip is actually being clear on your metrics. I know you was probably expecting me to say something about a video or some targeting or some ninja thing. But the reality is what most people fail with YouTube ads is they don't know their metrics. They don't have a clear understanding of what they are trying to accomplish from a metric standpoint. Meaning, for example, if you are doing lead generation or you are doing a webinar registration, what can you afford to pay for that action? And if you're not clear on that, you're gonna have a very limited opportunity to do ads and do well with YouTube ads. So you really wanna be clear on your metrics first and foremost before you ever even run an ad. So the next tip is never send traffic directly to your homepage. I see a lot of people that do that. And that's why you'll hear us talk about landing pages. You might hear that term, landing page. That's just a page that's designed specifically to work with the ads that you're running for the primary action that you want to create. And what most people do on their homepage is just kind of like an overview of their business, and it doesn't give anyone a clear, direct action that they can take. So don't send traffic directly to your homepage. Always use a specifically designed landing page for the action that you want to create. Having said that, the next tip would be that when you're using landing pages, you need to simplify them. What I see a lot of people do wrong is they do a landing page strategy, but then there's too many things for people to do when they get to that page. You don't want to have a bunch of links. You don't want to have multiple things that people can do. Your landing page should be focused on one primary action so that when they get there, they can only do that action or they can bounce out. And that's really the way ads work very well. You have to have a clear action and it needs to be simple. You don't need a whole lot of stuff on your landing page. It's just gonna confuse people. Another big tip for people with digital products, and this works very well, is that you want to educate in advance. Here's what I mean by that. When you can create an aha moment for someone by sharing something, some information with them that they didn't know that empowers them, you're already demonstrating your ability to teach. So the chances of you actually selling to that person goes up tremendously because you've already in advance educated and demonstrated that you can actually teach them something. So them willing to actually pay you for more, because it's kind of like if the free stuff is this good, I can't imagine what the paid stuff is like. And that's really what you want to do in your ads. It works very, very well for digital products. So the next tip is spend whatever you can afford. A big question I get a lot of times is like, what should my budget be? How much should I start with? I mean, that really varies because everyone's different, but at the end of the day, when you know what your metrics, or you have an idea of what your metrics should be, in order for you to verify how close you are, you got to spend something. Even if it's $5 a day, $10 a day, whatever you can afford is what I'll say. Because the reality is you shouldn't go in initially expecting it to work out of the gate. Can that happen? Yes. Is that likely? No. What you want to do is have an idea of, here's what I'm expecting this action, for example, like a webinar registration. I want to pay $5 for that. Once you start spending, can I actually get a number close to what it is that I'm trying to accomplish from a metric standpoint? And you can start with whatever makes sense for you. So another huge tip that a lot of people fall short with is research. You need to research. You need to know your audience. When you do good research, it's gonna allow you to know how to get in front of the right people and what to say to them when you get in front of them. Meaning, you know, when you're setting up your ads targeting, the more research you have, the easier that's gonna be for you. And then when you're creating ads to speak to those people, the more you know about them, the easier it'll be for you to actually create a message that resonates with them. So another big tip is model success. I see many people trying to play the guessing game. And the reality is what you should do is go out, see what's working already, and then leverage what you see working to make your version of that, and then go out and test that. A lot of times people are just, I don't know where to start. Well, go see what someone successful is already doing, because success leaves clues. So you want to model what's already successful and then put your own spin on it. And then as you progress from there, obviously you can go and do whatever you want after that. But starting out, you want to model success. Okay, so that's a wrap. So really quick, let's recap what we just went through. So first tip, be clear on your metrics. Another tip, never send traffic to your home page. Another tip, make sure to use a landing page, a simple landing page that don't have a lot on it, one clear call to action. Another big tip is that educate in advance, because you want to demonstrate your ability to teach. Another tip, make sure to spend whatever you can afford. Don't overthink when it comes to budgets. Another big tip is research. And probably my favorite one is model success. Don't try to play a guessing game. Success leave clues, model success. Okay, so that's a wrap on my tips. So if you got any questions, drop those down in the comments below. Thanks for following along. If you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the flip side.